So I've done videos where I talk about like I be working my ass off to get the fuck out of Berkeley, okay? I'm graduating this semester. I am not looking back. I cannot stand these low lives, right? So the past couple of days, I've just been grinding. I have to get this like 30-page research paper done. And so I've just been busting my ass. Like, when I tell you, like, my life has just been trying to get the fuck away from these people. So I sometimes come outside to get away from people because these universities don't think about people with disabilities. What they do is they will profit from people with disabilities with like federal loans and stuff like that. But they don't really make spaces for people with disabilities. The whole point is a well-tuned machine. It's like airlines. Airlines make the seats smaller to bring more people in to get more revenue. It's a fine-tuned machine. I've been at Berkeley, thank God, only 2 years. I would have been fucking arrested and fucked up by now. The reason why I'm saying it today is because right now I was just like, again, I'm studying, I'm doing my research, I'm not just studying, I'm writing my paper. And like I said, I've been sacrificing for so long to get this crap done because it's bullshit. You don't need fucking 30 pages to talk about this bullshit they want to talk about, okay? But it's part of the process. I'm outside because there are time frame limits on being in buildings. I was talking to a student who's graduating next semester, and we bumped into each other at one of the stores that Berkeley owns, whatever bullshit. And they were telling me how they got kicked out of a building because they were up like studying. This is a perpetual problem with many students where they'll get kicked out of buildings. Out of the fucking buildings, okay? And the reason why I know they gotta do their stuff, I have no issue with this, but the issue I now have is the fact that I'm sitting outside and some guy, I guess who does maintenance over here, just told me, who works here, I have no issue with the guy, it's just more of the issue with the fact that these privileged people, and they love it, they get off on this, they actually jerk off to the fact that like, they fucking get off on this shit. So I'm not saying that to appease or get them to change their ways. I don't give a flying fuck about privileged people. I'm saying this more to be like, it reminds me of what Obama did when he went to when he was in Hawaii, because you know his family's from Hawaii, but you know his rich white grandmother or whatever the fuck. But like, he went there and he put up a seawall. If you don't know anything about a seawall, like these are fucking rich pieces of shit, right? But people love Obama because like he's the articulate, well charismatic bullshit, okay? Putting a seawall up in public spaces is wild behavior from people who are too bigoted, who have too much fucking money and resources. These people are so stupid. These people, okay, one of the reasons I didn't want to work for Berkeley anymore and why I stopped working for Berkeley was I seen how much waste. I mean like garbage and shit like that. I mean like brand new shit. Thousands of dollars. Hundreds of thousands. They will throw the shit away. I couldn't fucking work with these cowards anymore. Now, you can't even be outside. Apparently, this area is a private residence. Oh, fuck off. As much as they have pathways to walk through here and us other crap, the guy had the audacity to say to me, because I guess it's his job, he said to me, which I thought was funny, I was just sitting here being like, oh, really? With a $3,000 laptop and $1,000 headphones, he says to me, oh, don't mess anything up. Right. with my $3,000 laptop and my $1,000 worth of like headphones, and yes, I'm going to spray paint, dismantle, and cause issues. If you've been watching me and I've been out here for a minute, then you know I'm not causing any issues. You said that because my job. So outside is not private. Like, it isn't. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, you can literally walk across the creek. The creek is right there. The guy told me there used to be a sign over here saying that people can't come over here. Really? There used to be a sign? I've been walking through this shit for years. I've been here for 2 years. So I was just like, no, you don't like the fact that I've been sitting here for a while. That's the situation. You don't like the fact that I've been fucking sitting here. So the fuck what? What's even more interesting is that I stayed at the private residence at Bowles Hall. Bowles Hall is very interesting. Or is it Bowles Hall or whatever it's called? When I did the internship, not an internship, but it was like the international thing for the students. It was for like the summer sessions thing, which, by the way, another reason I would never work for Berkeley ever again. UC Regents is a bunch of cowards who don't pay their students. Okay. But what did they do? I was trying to say, oh yeah, that's not even private over there. What do I mean? You can't go inside the building, right? Because it's like locked up. You can't go in unless you're like, you know, a resident. But you can walk all up and through that. There's like pathways all up and through. I know, I walked all up and through that. Even the Greek, you can actually walk through the Greek. You can sit in the Greek. So anyway, I'm amazed by the level of logic people have to come to see, like, instead of just saying, it was so funny, like, oh, you've been out here for a long time, oh, this isn't okay. You know what the guy said wasn't okay? The fact that I had my laptop plugged in, and then I had I had a fan going to make sure that my thing didn't overheat, because y'all know how it is with laptops. This will overheat if you, like, you know, whatever. So I had my thing on, like, regulating the thing so it didn't, like, overheat as I was running, like, let me tell you something. Side note. I was doing research with, like, RStudio and Python because I had to do it for different courses. My other MacBook crashed. I had to buy this one because my other one just got destroyed. I thought I was doing the right stuff, but clearly it didn't. I had to buy a brand new one. This brand new $3,000 laptop. I had to buy this crap. So, and the reason I say that is because I know some people $3,000 isn't a big deal, but honestly, I could have spent money on something else. I could have had like a really nice dinner, but then I had to buy another laptop for these bullshit classes. So anyway, I'm outside. Fucking outside. You know what's even funnier too? This campus will purposely have students be what's called an ambassador. Have students walk around here to show off the campus and shit, but it's just not real. For example, when Cal Day happened, they had all these fucking people and their motherfucking families, most white people. Because they almost have all the fucking money. Look at the statistics. The wealth disparity is because white people are so uncomfortable and they'd rather let people die than they give up like any sort of like resources. And it's historical. This is like a historical fact. I'm not making this up. But Cal Day was so annoying to me because I'm a person with disabilities. I don't like being around a bunch of people. I need a space that's quieter and away from people because people are dense and stupid. People will cause me more harm than like the raccoons and possums and like insects and shit that run around this bitch, okay? So, what was I gonna say? It's fascinating when I interact with people. The first stupid fucking thing you say to people is, the first thing this guy said to me was, just don't damage anything. Motherfucker, didn't you just see me sitting here? You said, you literally said I've been sitting here for a while. Well, if I've been sitting here for a while, then you've been observing that nothing's been going on. As a matter of fact, you've been observing that I've been on my laptop. You know what's even more interesting about this? I started thinking about like I have a degree in psychology and communications and stuff like that. I'm getting my 4th degree now. One of the things that people do is they want to over-explain to get people to like believe them. They'll like over-explain, like, oh, like, so I know some people who will like be like, oh, I'm working. They'll turn around and show their laptop to a random stranger and be like, oh, to convince them to like fuck off and back off or whatever, like to convince them that they're working. I'm not doing that. Why? What other reason would my fat, sexy ass be sitting out here? I don't like you people. Okay, here's another reason. Here's another reason why I say this. Here's another reason why I say, like, the first thing I said was that I'm a student. That's the first thing I said to diffuse whatever bullshit that you want to say to me. I hope they put the sign back up. I will never come back here. You people are such cowards. Just sitting in this space, like, this is what I said about working, this is what I said about Berkeley. When I came here, I did all the research about the area. I gotten so many students graduated from universities like this, my family, my brother and sister. I said before I came here, these people just keep proving my point. I said before I came here, privileged people are just the weakest link. They will undermine themselves. If your whole point is about like, oh, people can come to your campus and like, okay, for example, if you walk around on campus, they have plaques, right? They have things to honor certain professors or people who have donated, right? This area literally was donated to people who have fucking disabilities. What do I mean by this? Over on the side, there's a little ramp. Okay, when you walk over here, they have, the ramp is designed for people with disabilities. This is one of the most designed spaces for people with disabilities. I would probably say and guess, just based off the different spaces I've been in and what I've observed, the architecture and stuff like that. Just because I do a lot of disabilities work. And so over here, they have an area where like, and it's like a bunch of flowers and over here on the other side of this. There's benches that you can sit on. Anybody from the public. There's no signs that say it's private or anything like that. When you walk into the classes now, in the classrooms, I've been here, like I said, like 2 years now. When you walk inside these buildings, SSB, Willard, Dwinell, all of a sudden now they have these blue and gold lettered things that, it's just a piece of paper. And they put it on the wall, on the doors, and they say like, oh, this is a private space for faculty, students, and like, I think they say like their affiliates or something like that. I can't really remember exactly. But they recently started doing this. It is just fascinating to me living in this environment. This area over here is literally designed to be accessible for people who are on like who have mobile disabilities, other disabilities. The woman's name is on there. They say that she was an attorney, was a ferocious fighter, an advocate for people with disabilities. And then you walk your asses over here to say something to me about me not doing anything. Get the fuck on. It'd be different if I was blaring music or talking to myself or like, why? Because you heard a loud noise from my air filter? Get the fuck on. When people talk about, oh, there's a lot of noise, Berkeley has a lot of noise. Berkeley literally has a bunch of fucking noise. I know. I gotta wear headphones all the time. The environment creates disabilities. For real. So, And also the point about, because he didn't come out here and say you're being noisy. He said you're not supposed to fucking be here. I said, oh really? When was this? And then he pulls out of his ass, there was to be a sign. Well, there isn't one that you magically came up with. Sound like a cop. Cops do this. Cops will say, I caught you doing something. You didn't catch anything, you lying bitch. When you say like, oh, let me see it on camera, like, oh, you can't see it. Oh, so conveniently you caught me. Even though like, I know, and we both know, and I know I'm not stupid. I know I didn't do anything. You lying little fucking weasel. Same thing with this particular situation. Not to call him a fucking lying weasel, just saying similar type of like temperament and tone to the like, I gotta get away from these people. I gotta get away from these people. I've got to get the fuck away from these people. I'm going to stand 10 toes down of what I've been saying about academics and about this lame, weak, high school-like fucking bullshit. Hold my hand and wipe my ass, privileged little piece of shit, losers in this motherfucking weak bitch-ass college. Weak. And I'll be done with this. Oh my God. I cannot stand these cowards. I can't stand I've been telling people this since I got here, and one of the scholars that I actually enjoy listening to and giving rhetoric and feedback on, and how my opinion shapes around how I interact with people, is a war correspondent, former war correspondent named Chris Hedgens. The reason why I enjoy his rhetoric isn't just because the people around him are excellent, like scholars and who talk about the real and all that other stuff, but it's because he doesn't play these games that academic people and people of privilege play, right? With people. He just says it what it is. And I remember recently he said, when you start telling people the truth, or you just live truthfully, authentically, and they're not, whether they be compliant or whatever the situation is, they delve deeper into their bullshit. They try to run from that thing. They become agitated when you bring the things up. Another reason why I can't be around these people. Whenever I interact with people, and I'm being real, because life is too fake. You people live in your computers, you watch too much television, you're too much of a breads and circuses society for me, okay? Too much. Too fucking much. So you need a real dose of reality. A real dose of reality. Last thing, and I'll be done with this, because I honestly have been so turned off by the fact that I can't sit the fuck outside. These cowards took away People's Park. These cowards made it illegal for people to be homeless. And what's the definition? They literally created a situation where, like, well, let's say like you can't sleep on the street. They'll be like, oh, like tents and stuff like that, can't have none of that stuff. I literally look like somebody who's not even homeless. What do I mean by this? Or houseless. I don't have a tent. I don't have no fucking, like, you racist dumb. That's why I say, like, how can I help you? What is it that I'm doing that all of a sudden I'm violating some fucking rule? You motherfuckers have 10,000 million motherfucking rules for all the fucking brown people around this bitch. Everything has a fucking rule. Jesus Christ, if I breathe too loud, oh my God, you're breathing too loud. This is why I say, when I leave California, because these cowards in California are so delusional. They're like, it's one of the best places to live. No, it isn't. These people are stuck in Delulu land. I don't just mean La La Land. I mean delusional land. Incredibly fucking delusional. Oh yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said I'm getting the fuck away from California. And I was born and raised in this shithole called California. Okay? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna take my pointers from whom? The Canadians. I don't know if you all heard about this. I kind of talked about a little bit about the bullshit that's been going on. These cowards. See, things like this. Okay. These people talking about, these, and I'll be done with this and I'll be finished. When I was talking about how these scholars are talking about they're going to leave because of the fascist environment that we live in, go back to what I said about when you're impoverished, you're in poverty. You already live in a fascist environment. Example about what the bullshit just happened right now. But you already live in a fascist environment. You already know what it's fucking like. These scholars are talking about, I'm gonna leave, and I said, like, on one hand, I understand, like, nobody wants to deal with that crap, like, it's very Nazi-esque, it's very, like, it's giving want to lead into concentration, it's giving very, we're going back to, like, Hitler bullshit, it's giving very fascist, dictator, authoritarian crap, it is, okay? Very not cool dystopian vibes, okay? Yeah. On the other hand, for people who can't just fucking get up and leave and then spew their rhetoric somewhere else in a safe haven, I don't know how to feel about the fact that you're telling me you're going to fucking leave. It's very privileged. But the point I'm making is this, and I want to get to a greater point. I'm using all of that to frame my main point. If you make it so uncomfortable for people to be around you fucking weak pieces of shit, for me, just sitting outside, why would a fucking professor or anybody who has some motherfucking sense stay here? Canadians are looking at the travel situation, and Europeans who come to, they're all canceling their flights. They're canceling their vacation. They're not even, you know how vacations work? You gotta book that shit out. Yeah. Some people book years out. Okay, yeah. These people are canceling flights. They said, we'll take our money somewhere else. That's cute that y'all have hills and mountains and valleys. Governor Newsom talking about, oh, our Canadian brethren come here. Are you pissed that you're gonna lose all that money? Was it in Palmdale? Was it Palmdale or something? Are you Californians pissed off at the fact that you're going to be losing? You should be. Everything is private. Outside is illegal. Motherfucker, people just be making up shit. This is why the indigenous folks been saying forever. How the fuck do we gotta pay just to walk around this bitch? But anyway, enough. I'm done. I just, people be looking at me like, how dare you not want to conform? I'm a whole human who hasn't fucking done shit to motherfucking nobody. Yeah, I have a right to sit here and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? You understand what I'm saying? Am I loitering? Am I panhandling? You know what I'm saying? Am I asking you for money or fucking donations? Am I being a vagrant around here? You know, the terms that you use, the things, You know what I'm saying? So, what's the other thing I wanted to say? There's no curfew either. We're not on a motherfucking curfew. We're not goddamn children. Never have I in my fucking life had to talk to so many goddamn adults about why I'm up working. In a capitalist environment where every single moment, these people talking about hustle culture is asking me why I'm up working. Okay, cool. Capitalism has people so fucking out of their goddamn minds that it has people asking you with a $3,000+ laptop, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know. Jerking off? In the cold? No. But anyway, sorry. It's just like, you wonder why these people are leaving. I've been saying this for years. Why people haven't left the United States. I know why I haven't, because I just didn't have the fucking resources to do it. I made dumber decisions, like working, getting a fucking bullshit education from my supposed prestigious. These fucking classes were bullshit. I'm sorry. Every time I have somebody come up to me in this raggedy fucking school, and the reason I say raggedy is because a point I made to a professor a couple of days ago when we were in class. We're in this room, this space they call a classroom. Ain't no goddamn classroom. It's just a fucking room. They have us in this fucking conference room, and these blinds never fucking work. These blinds have probably been here since the inception of this fucking school, right? And they definitely have been here since they built that building, okay? And I was looking at this, and it enraged me. And I said, we've been in this classroom for going on like 5 months now. Whatever the hell it is, who cares? It's been longer than it should be. And your fucking curtains are jacked up. And I said, this is really starting to make me look at Berkeley a different way. I've been looked at Berkeley various different ways. I don't believe you cowards. What do I mean by this? A lot of the stuff that I said, I have multiple degrees. You can't tell me what I'm not seeing isn't real. I'm not crazy. I don't have cancer where I'm seeing things. I need to get a CAT scan or something. I'm not seeing things. I have a tumor on my fucking brain. I'm not just seeing things. As raggedy and dirty as this school is, and I'm not saying this is necessarily the fault of the people who clean and stuff like that. But as raggedy and dirty as this school is, and as dysfunctional and broken down as this stuff is, it makes me say to myself, I said to the professor and the people in the class, I was like, have you ever been to someone's house? Have you ever been to somebody's home? And it's in a really nice neighborhood. It's in a very supposed affluent neighborhood. I hope y'all see where I'm going with this. It's in this supposed affluent neighborhood. You're supposedly around the best in what they do. Intellect. Their motherfucking kids are supposed to be you know what I'm saying? The food. All this other crap that they tell you. And then you go inside their house and you see like dirty here, there's some over here, the blinds are broken, but they tell you like, yeah, I got all this money. I got all these things. I'm in a prestigious location. That's how I view Berkeley. One of those people that you interact with and you're like, you know, you don't fit what you say this is. I've been to people's homes where I'm just like, yeah, you can tell me all day long you have this money, but I'm looking at you real funny, like, there's things that ain't adding up, ain't matching. So, but this leads to a bigger point about how I feel about institutions overall, because I've worked at various institutions. USC, CSUB, JSU, University of Florida, and now fucking shit, Berkeley. As racist as Kern County is, and what it still is, I've never had somebody come to me like, you can't sit outside. Yo, that'd be like fucking Haas people coming. You know, Haas has security walking around the whole time at like almost 24/7. They have somebody over there walking around Haas. Do you know how many cops and like de facto cops they have? The walk patrol, the bear walk, the CS, whatever the fuck bullshit people. These are de facto fake cop enforcing people. I hope you all understand where I'm getting at. It's bad enough you all kick students out. I remember I told the guy who's one of the building managers over like he had to brag. He's like 10 buildings. I run 10 buildings. Okay, great, perfect, good for you. How do we meet? We met because I was working. I was doing work. Do you think I come here for my pleasure for you people? Oh, fuck off. I'm paying tuition. I'm using the fucking area. Fuck you. So, I go into a building one day. I met this guy before. I met him in Donnell. I was in the part where they call the Commons. Just a little sitting area. I used to have like Pete's Coffee. Doesn't have any more. It's just a sitting area. I'm sitting over to the side and I'm doing my work. I happen to be the only one there at the time. People linger in as they do, in and out all day long. He happens to be up early doing his job, blah, blah, blah. He sees me, wants to introduce himself. Why? I don't fucking know. But I'm not going to be rude. So he gets to talking to me. He's like, do you like the area? I'm thinking to myself, like, honestly, I'm really not trying to get to know you like that. Like, no offense. I'm working vigorously to get the fuck away from these people. I disdain these cowards. Some people, I don't know how they find the pleasure to be around these people. I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it. And I don't desire to have any connection with these people. None. My life was doing just fine before I had to interact with these people, okay? So, you know, he tells me, you know, about the room, whatever, and so he leaves. I want to say it had to be at least 6 months after that we interacted again, because I'm busy. Okay. We happened to meet up again at SSB, but it was like early in the morning. Like, the buildings are supposed to open up at 8, but sometimes they open early. Sometimes they open at 7:30. Sometimes they open at 7. And I'm not the only one. I am not unique. I am not special. If I'm thinking, oh, let me get ahead of time, let me get to a location so I can get a seat, so I can get my position, so I can do things I can do. There's a whole process that we students go through who want to get the fucking work done. We know what it is. We know why we're up early. And this is not unusual. You cowards give us thousands of hours to have to read. Like, you give us, I have a class where they said that you have to spend like almost 20 hours reading for one class. And then you tell me, why are you up? Fuck off. Okay. So I go into the building and I walk in, and oh, it's raining too, by the way. Another reason why I went to the building, I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm like, yay, the building's open early. Let me go in. And I go to like the 5th floor, because that's where the seats are. I'm like, okay, cool. I can like start working on my stuff. Like, I get out of the rain. I can get my work done. Beautiful. It's perfect. Everything I thought was going to work out great. walk into the building, and I didn't realize the guy was there at this building early. Doesn't matter to me. I go in, I go into the elevator, he comes up behind me. Didn't know he was there. I have my headphones on, I'm focused on, I'm in the zone, I have a destination, I have stuff I want to get done. He doesn't say anything to me. I look at him and I'm like, oh, and then I finally like recognize him. And I say, oh, you're that guy from the other building, right? And I said, oh, is there an issue if I could be here? Because I've come earlier before if it's open. I don't go into buildings if they're not open. If the fucking building is open, you slow pieces of shit. Guess what I'm about to fucking do? I'm going to go in the building if it's a building for which I can go into and it makes sense. I'm not going into all open buildings. This is the building I should be in because this is where my major's in. But anyway, so we have a conversation on the elevator or whatever. He's like, oh, you're fine. You can stay here, da-da-da. And I said, really? I said, because I've been in buildings where people have kicked me out, and I'm like, no problem. Like, if a building's closing, it's closing. I'm not going to argue with you about that. I'm just going to, like, leave. Especially because the building is closing. Like, why would I fight with you about the building closing? If I'm working late and I don't recognize the time, which happens all the fucking time, you dishonest pieces of shit who've ever worked. So, sometimes you forget the time and you're there later. And sometimes the staff come in and they'll be like, oh, why are you here? And it's like, oh, honestly, I got so busy working that the time flew the fuck by. Which is why I'm even more offended when someone tells me you've been sitting out for a long time. Motherfucker, I'm at a fucking school and I'm working. Motherfucker, I'm reading. Motherfucker, I'm writing. I'm sorry. I didn't know it only took, let me see. It's just offensive because even in these classes, they'll say things to you about like, people who were in these environments where they didn't have to work or everything like that. They had the ability, luxury of learning and becoming more educated so they can do more crafts and blah, 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 whatever theory a sociologist will tell you. And then you're wondering why I'm sitting here contemplating. Isn't there like a whole famous statue where a man is sitting and he has his hand on his chin and he's fucking thinking? I didn't realize sitting was so goddamn dangerous. But anyway, or so peculiar, it warrants someone to come and say something to me. Fuck off, Jesus Christ. So, whatever the deity or religious thing you want to use to put there, I'm using that just because, like, it's a common term. But I was just thinking about this, just thinking about how much I disdain. The paper I was writing was about how, like, this is a long ass research paper. This is research I've been doing for the past 7 years. 7 fucking years dealing with you cowards and academics. And talking about how bullshit it really is. And I'm not sugarcoating it. I am not a student, I'm not a researcher who placates to other people in the field because they want to get their stuff published. I don't care about your little raggedy ass feelings. I don't want to be a part of your clique. I don't want to be a part of your team. I am not a team player for people who are a bunch of bigots and idiots. I came here to get this thing because the society is structured in a way for which I have to get a degree. I decided to come here and get what was supposedly prestigious bullshit marketing about how good this education was. And I come to find out a lot of this crap that I was doing for these classes I did when I was... A lot of this stuff is high school bullshit. I have a right to be pissed off. Pissed. And the reason why people won't critique things the way that I critique them is because what the hell, who am I supposed to be appeasing here? Whose ass crack am I supposed to be, whose ass cheeks am I supposed to be spreading open and running my fucking tongue up and down and circling all around and possibly inserting to get the fuck off in this bitch? Who the fuck am I supposed to be appeasing here? To do what? To be subservient to you? To be a serf? To be somebody who is perpetually indebted into you? Whose ass am I supposed to fucking consider here? Exactly my point. None. This is another reason why, one of the reasons I can't stand academic environments. I can't wait to go. And another reason why, when I have interactions with people, they're like, oh, you just have confidence. I'm like, it's not about confidence. It has to do with the fact that I'm a whole person who knows thyself, and who has love and compassion for thyself, who has empathy for thyself, who knows the capacity in for which I am as a person, integrity, and all other crap. Knowing thyself. And because I know thyself, I'm not going to sit around and play games with other people when I know thyself. I'm not going to fluff around. I don't have time. So, anyway, what time is it now? I could probably get some breakfast now that it's actually morning, because they actually do have, I'll be done. They actually do have, what is it called? Things that, like, in the morning, it's like 1 in the morning, I think when they close or something, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, it's, what's that? It's like it's not a pizza place, but it's like, it's an Italian place or something. It's called, I think it's called Gypsies or something. I think that might be the only place that's open, and like cookies. I didn't want no calzones, and I didn't want cookies or anything like that. But I will see what is open right now to see like what kind of breakfast food is there. Hopefully I can find some French toast. I know Le Note on the weekend, I think, opens later. They have good French toast, or I might have to go further out in Berkeley to get some decent breakfast food, because I've stopped eating the garbage that's here. I've been stopped eating the garbage that's on campus. I can't do this shit no more. Like, and it's not even about like, it's just everything. A lot of stuff is fried, and even the things like the salad bar, I just can't appreciate it because I've gotten sick so many times eating there that I'm just like, honestly, I'm so turned off by whatever you have going on here. I don't know what it was, but I've gotten sick so many times eating at like these dining halls that they have. And I don't be doing nothing crazy. So I just stopped eating at all the time. I stopped. I said, I'm not doing this crap, don't worry. I'm gonna keep getting sick, violently ill, because you all, I don't know what's going on. You gotta pay your workers more money, you gotta give these student workers more money, whatever it is, better sanitation. I don't know. But that's another reason why I'm saying, like, shout out to the bagel spot, that bagel street spot, because I've been eating bagels and getting like, you know what I mean? I've been eating bagels because I've never gotten sick from their food. Like, they cook their food all the way through. They're decent people. I've never had any issues with them. That's why I go and I eat there. Like, I wish there was another spot that was open and close by. And I'm not talking about that fucking place that's across from, what is it, Anthropology and the Berkeley Law School. Never been there, will never go there. That shit looks bullshit. And people are over there because, like, I don't know if it's close by or because, like, they just want to seem cool or in it or whatever. I don't give a shit. So, anyway. Peace, y'all. I know this is a long video. I usually don't do long videos like this. It's almost an hour, but I had to get that off my chest. I hate these people. And people always tell me, like, why won't you let this go? I'm never going to let it go. What this place has done to me and my family. What this place has done to my family, me, and other people I love and care about, and the bullshit. And with privileged people, I don't mean like, oh, you have some kind of privilege. That bullshit that wealthy people play on people, where they try to mind fuck you and say like, oh, you have privilege and you have privilege. But when I say privilege, I'm not talking about the fact that, oh, I live in America. I'm not talking about the fact that I'm here. I'm talking about the fact that your fucking rich bullshit ass controls everything. With a fart. You could be like, oh, I'm just gonna wreck shit around here because I fucking am bored. So these privileged people. Anyway, peace.